If you lost everything tomorrow, your money, your status, your relationships, your plans, who would you become? Most people spend their entire lives trying to control everything. Control people. Control outcomes. Control timing. But the harder they hold on, the more life slips through their fingers. The Stoics understood something powerful thousands of years ago. The moment you stop chasing, forcing, and clinging, life starts opening doors you never expected. The more you let go, the more life gives you. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more powerful Stoic wisdom that can transform your mindset and your life forever. Most people are exhausted, not because life is hard, but because they are carrying things they were never meant to carry. They carry the opinions of strangers. They carry fear about the future. They carry pain from the past. They carry expectations they can never fully satisfy. And slowly, all that emotional weight destroys their peace. Stoicism teaches something modern society rarely understands. Peace is not found by controlling life. Peace is found by mastering yourself. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Think about that deeply. Most suffering comes from trying to control what cannot be controlled. You cannot control whether people stay loyal. You cannot control whether opportunities disappear. You cannot control how others think about you. You cannot control whether life becomes unfair. But you can control your response. And your response becomes your freedom. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who dominate others. They are the ones who remain calm when everything around them falls apart. A weak mind reacts emotionally to every inconvenience. A strong mind observes, adapts, and moves forward. That is the Stoic way. Many people believe letting go means losing. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Sometimes letting go is the beginning of gaining everything. When you let go of toxic relationships, you gain peace. When you let go of constant validation, you gain confidence. When you let go of fear, you gain courage. When you let go of the past, you gain the present. Life changes the moment your happiness no longer depends on external things. Most people are emotionally controlled by circumstances. If someone praises them, they feel valuable. If someone rejects them, they feel worthless. If life goes according to plan, they feel confident. If things go wrong, they collapse. That is emotional slavery. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from becoming internally stable. A calm mind is a powerful mind. A disciplined mind is a dangerous mind. A detached mind is an unbreakable mind. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending. There is a difference. A Stoic can love deeply without becoming destroyed by loss. A Stoic can work hard without becoming obsessed with outcomes. A Stoic can fail without losing self-respect. That is true inner power. People spend years chasing things they believe will finally make them happy. More money. More attention. More approval. More status. But even after achieving those things, many still feel empty. Why? Because external success cannot fix internal chaos. If your mind is restless, no amount of success will give you peace. If your mind is insecure, no amount of praise will make you confident. If your mind is weak, no amount of comfort will make you strong. Stoicism teaches that everything begins within. Your inner world creates your outer experience. And once you understand that, your entire life changes. The truth is, life becomes lighter when you stop trying to force everything. The more desperate people become, the more they suffer. They force relationships that are already dead. They chase people who do not value them. They panic when life changes direction. They resist reality. But reality always wins. The Stoics understood that suffering often comes from resistance. You suffer because reality does not match your expectations. But what happens when you stop resisting? You become calm. You become adaptable. You become free. Imagine how powerful you become when rejection no longer destroys you. Imagine how peaceful you become when uncertainty no longer terrifies you. Imagine how confident you become when your worth no longer depends on other people's opinions. That is the power of letting go. Life is constantly changing. Nothing stays forever. Not success. Not failure. Not pain. Not pleasure. Everything passes. The Stoics constantly reflected on this truth because it helped them remain balanced. When something good happened, they appreciated it without becoming attached. When something painful happened, they endured it knowing it would eventually pass. This mindset creates emotional stability. Most people are destroyed by temporary moments because they think those moments will last forever. But they never do. Storms pass. Pain fades. Situations change. And often, the things that once broke you become the very things that strengthen you. One of the greatest Stoic lessons is this. Do not ask life to become easier. Ask yourself to become stronger. Weak minds complain about difficulty. Strong minds grow through difficulty. Pain can either destroy you or refine you. The difference depends on perspective. And Stoicism is the mastery of perspective. Two people can experience the same hardship. One becomes bitter. The other becomes wiser. One collapses emotionally. The other becomes stronger mentally. The situation is the same. The mindset is different. That is why mindset matters more than circumstances. A disciplined mind can survive almost anything. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. But discomfort is often the place where growth begins. Pressure creates strength. Adversity creates resilience. Silence creates clarity. Loss creates wisdom. The Stoics did not fear hardship because they understood hardship trains the mind. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen character. And character is more valuable than comfort. Comfort can disappear overnight. Character stays with you forever. Many people think happiness comes from gaining more. More possessions. More achievements. More recognition. But sometimes happiness comes from needing less. Less approval. Less comparison. Less emotional dependence. Less attachment. Minimalism of the mind creates peace. The more emotionally attached you become to external things, the more vulnerable you become. Because external things are unstable. People change. Money changes. Circumstances change. But your principles can remain stable. That is why Stoicism focuses on virtues instead of possessions. Discipline. Wisdom. Courage. Self-control. These are things nobody can take from you. A person who masters themselves becomes difficult to defeat. Life will test everyone eventually. No one escapes pain. No one escapes disappointment. No one escapes uncertainty. The question is not whether hardship will come. The question is whether your mind is prepared for it. Most people panic because they expect life to always feel comfortable. The Stoics expected challenges. And because they expected difficulty, they were not destroyed by it. Preparation creates calmness. Acceptance creates resilience. Inner strength creates peace. One of the biggest reasons people suffer is because they keep chasing things that are running away from them. Attention. Validation. Control. But life often works in reverse. The harder you chase certain things, the further they move away. Confidence comes when you stop begging for approval. Peace comes when you stop forcing outcomes. Respect comes when you stop trying to impress everyone. And opportunities often appear when desperation disappears. Calm energy attracts. Desperation repels. This is why emotionally detached people often appear powerful. Not because they do not care, but because they are not controlled by fear. Fear is one of humanity's greatest prisons. Fear of rejection. Fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of losing people. Fear keeps millions trapped in lives they secretly hate. Stoicism teaches you to face fear directly. Not run from it. Not hide from it. But confront it calmly. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. Every time you face discomfort voluntarily, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you survive pain, your confidence grows. Every time life tests you and you endure, your character sharpens. That is why suffering can become transformation. The people who become strongest are often the ones who suffered deeply but refused to remain broken. And eventually, they realize something powerful. Nothing outside them was ever the true source of their strength. Their strength was always within. Most people search for peace in places where peace cannot exist. They search for peace in money, in relationships, in social status, in material possessions. But external things can only provide temporary pleasure. True peace comes from internal stability, from emotional discipline, from self-mastery. The Stoics understood this deeply. That is why they train the mind every day. Because the quality of your life depends largely on the quality of your mind. A chaotic mind creates a chaotic life. A peaceful mind creates a peaceful life. You become what you repeatedly think about. That is why protecting your mind matters. Protect your energy from negativity. Protect your focus from distraction. Protect your peace from unnecessary drama. Not everything deserves your emotional reaction. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain calm. Silence is power. Self-control is power. Emotional discipline is power. Most people react immediately to everything. Every insult. Every inconvenience. Every disagreement. But the Stoics believe that between an event and your reaction, there is a space. And inside that space lies your power. When you master that space, you master yourself. Life becomes easier when you stop taking everything personally. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will stay. And that is okay. The moment you stop expecting permanence from temporary things, you stop suffering unnecessarily. People enter your life for seasons. Some teach lessons. Some bring joy. Some bring pain. Some help you grow. But nothing lasts forever. And that is part of life. Clinging to things only creates suffering. Acceptance creates peace. Many people ruin their lives trying to avoid pain. But pain is unavoidable. What matters is whether pain makes you wiser or weaker. Every setback contains a lesson. Every failure contains growth. Every difficult season contains transformation. Stoicism teaches you to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can this teach me?" That single shift changes everything. Victims focus on problems. Stoics focus on solutions. Victims blame life. Stoics adapt to life. Victims surrender their power. Stoics strengthen their minds. And over time, that mindset changes destiny. The truth is, life becomes more beautiful when you stop trying to possess everything. Enjoy moments without needing them to last forever. Love people without trying to control them. Work hard without becoming emotionally attached to results. Give your best effort, then let life unfold naturally. That is peace. The Stoics knew that anxiety often comes from living too far into the future. People destroy today worrying about tomorrow. But tomorrow does not yet exist. All you truly have is this moment. This breath. This day. This opportunity. That realization creates gratitude. And gratitude transforms perspective. A grateful mind suffers less. Because it focuses on what remains instead of what is missing. Most people focus endlessly on what they lack. More money. More recognition. More success. And because of that, they never feel satisfied. But the Stoics practiced appreciating simple things. Breathing. Health. Friendship. Nature. Wisdom. Time. Because once you realize how temporary life is, ordinary moments become extraordinary. One day, everything you currently take for granted will disappear. That truth should not make you fearful. It should make you present. Life is fragile. Time is limited. And that is exactly why you must stop wasting energy on meaningless things. Stop carrying resentment. Stop replaying old mistakes. Stop chasing people who do not value you. Stop trying to control every outcome. Life becomes lighter when you release unnecessary emotional weight. The more you let go, the more space life has to give you something better. Sometimes losing something is protection. Sometimes rejection is redirection. Sometimes endings create beginnings. But you cannot receive new opportunities if your hands remain tightly attached to the past. Growth requires release. Transformation requires surrender. And peace requires acceptance. At the end of life, most people will not regret the things they let go of. They will regret holding on too long. Holding on to fear. Holding on to anger. Holding on to pride. Holding on to toxic relationships. Holding on to a version of themselves that no longer served them. The greatest freedom in life is emotional independence. The ability to remain calm regardless of circumstances. The ability to remain grounded regardless of outcomes. The ability to remain strong regardless of challenges. That is the Stoic mindset. And once you develop it, life changes forever. Because you stop begging life to be perfect. You stop depending on external validation. You stop fearing uncertainty. And strangely, once you stop chasing desperately, life begins flowing toward you naturally. The more you let go, the more life gives you. If this message inspired you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.